to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. Crypto Jack coming to you live again for another Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Did you buy the dip? Did you sell the bottom? Are you new to the crypto game and you feel like you just boarded an emotional roller coaster? Well, to discuss all this dramatic events and this exciting volatility, two of our lead analysts. First, we have Alex. Alex, how you doing?
I'm great.
All right, Jason, how about you? How's the last
Oh, you know we're always doing good. We bought the dip before people were talking about the dip.
It seems like our analysts are always on the ball, and you know
you're gonna jinx us one of these days.
Maybe, but at the moment, with the way the market's going and the discipline and the professionalism that you guys approach this space with,
that's the important part.
I imagine it's going to be a hard streak to break, and when we break it, it might be a really dumb mistake. But that's why I don't see it happening. You know, like I said, very disciplined people here. Very well, at least when it comes to approaching the markets, well emotionally sorted approach is really what it's about.
Yeah, at least for the markets.
Yeah.
We're always managing risk.
Indeed. Let's take a quick look at what's going on in the space. I see Bubbles is kind of a sea of green today. Alts are having their day, and yeah, a bit of a bounce on Bitcoin, and suddenly the shot for alt season has been fired. I see AAVE is up almost 25%, Maker up 28%,
Nano 43.
Yeah, Nano one of the biggest of the day. AVAX, or no, that's Avalanche, up 28%.
They're gonna have to rename it Micro.
Yeah, we got SUSHI up 27%. It seems like most coins are up at least 10 to 15% today. Some of the big gainers up almost 30%. So you know, alt bags have rebounded a bit. If you were clutching, you know, in the sides of the elevator as it plummets to the ground, well, maybe it just hit the emergency brakes and your alts have suddenly started looking good again.
Nice analogy.
Well, here we are, and things are looking not too bad. Let's see what's going on in the news before I take a look who's in the live chat today. I saw this story trending today. Everybody remember how PayPal launched crypto sales on their site? Well,
yeah, that you can't withdraw.
Yeah, it's kind of like Robinhood, which is much to be expected. But PayPal's new crypto unit just traded over $240 million in a single day, which is kind of cool. You got to assume that this isn't probably wash trading. This is probably real organic buying and selling.
I believe that. Yeah,
so
I believe that.
Yeah, Division launched last year. PayPal made a big push into growing out, expanding into a crypto business. Apparently the volumes are growing. There's a little chart here. We can see indeed the volumes seem to be picking up in the new year and kind of hitting new highs at 242 million yesterday. That's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you want to pay Coinbase style fees but not be able to withdraw your crypto, then PayPal is the service for you. Hop on board.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're buying Bitcoin, but you can't have it.
You know, I think exposure.
Yeah, you get none of the benefits and all of the drawbacks.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that Bitcoin was designed not to be.
In many ways, that's true, but this is how noobs get exposure to the price, and in the end, I think it's good for the price. And in reality, you know, knowing what we know about the average, you know, person today, maybe just diving straight into self-custody Bitcoin is not a good idea. Most people buy first, and then they study what they purchase later. So maybe for the fresh blood entering the space, it's not a good way to get your feet, not a bad way to get your feet wet and potentially not lose your Bitcoin, because Lord knows if you know, had Bitcoin in your custody, you might lose it or be tempted to immediately send it to Binance and then lose it. So maybe this is a good way for people to get into it. You know, the average PayPal user today, not bad at all. All right.
I messed with it for a second, and it was confusing. I messed with it for a second on PayPal to see if I could just easily transfer over some things, and no, they wanted way more information out of me than I wanted to give at the moment.
Well, if they do all that KYC, then I wonder if they maybe actually do own the coins. Because if you think about it, if you can't withdraw the coins, then they could just tell you that they have the crypto.
Right? It could just be a smoke screen.
Yeah, we'll credit that to your account, sure.
Yep. Certainly something to be concerned about, but I imagine, you know, with Bitcoin, you do have the accounting books open to everyone, so it's still possible to get an idea of roughly, you know, what their holdings are, you know, which addresses roughly and what they contain. So, and then I imagine the business as big as this still has some kind of accounting, third-party accounting that goes over their books and also keeps them honest. I don't imagine PayPal has gone this long by, you know, doing anything funky.
I bet people said the same thing about YREX.
No doubt about it, and I'm sure there's always some kind of funny business around the margins, but you know, fundamentally being able to see, you know, where Bitcoin is in the world, which wallets, you know, and see kind of this rough data. We have, you know, we're rich in data, and I imagine it's really hard, given Bitcoin's nature and today's data-rich environment, that they can just, you know, outright run some really fraudulent Bitcoin operation. I think fundamentally these guys are going to be loading up their bags as demand from their customers increases, and that's just going to create another you know, demand that will hopefully take us to those new highs. This is just the start of something absolutely magical. All right, so third story, of course, we have something from yesterday. If you guys remember, Coinbase went down. A lot of people wondering, why does Coinbase always go down when, you know, markets are going wild? And in this case,
so big money can dump on you and you can't sell.
We got the story from Decrypt here, and it basically, to summarize it, I think that when Bitcoin price gets exciting, users flock to it, and the platforms are overwhelmed with traffic outside the usual norms, and crashes systems.
Cry me a river. Coinbase has literally billions of dollars.
I was gonna say they have the money to make the infrastructure.
I want to sell my Bitcoin. Man up and buy another server farm, Coinbase.
I'm going to get you a pen, and we're going to start writing a very worded letter.
Very stern letter.
I didn't think it was going
to Listen here, Coinbase.
I mean, for the record, I didn't think you were going to be satisfied with this explanation, but so be it. All right, let me take a quick look here, because
they got billions.
I think the line
can't buy a couple servers
is down. Good here, and I think Crypto Meister sent me a DM in the background to probably remind me to start up the bot. Okay, I will. I'll get the chat bot started in just a second. Alright, so we've covered the news, we've kind of gone over the intro. I'm going to quickly shout people out and maybe answer my door in a minute. Let's see here. We're going to go from the intro to Bitcoin to Ethereum before we dive into the alts in the first hour. By hour 2, we'll definitely be doing everyone's requests. The AMA type section always comes up by the second hour before maybe we round out, touch on news again, and then head to the outro. With that said, let's see here. I'm going to switch over to Alex's scene real quick.
Go answer your door, Jack.
Yeah, I'm going to go do that. And then Alex, hold it down for me. I'll be back in a minute to shout everybody up.
Okay. Okay, guys. Jack is gone. Let's talk trash about him.
Do you guys know that I've still never seen this man's face?
Yeah, is his name even Jack?
We don't know.
No one knows. Yeah.
It's very confusing.
So let's start where we ended last session, which was yesterday. I think right around here we were like, hey, this is the bottom. Buy here. Pretty vociferously. And as you can see, overnight we crawled up towards 36, came back down, and now we appear to be pumping again. I had a limit order set down here at where is it?
31.8.
Yep, 31.8. You can see here. See it here on Bitfinex. But it's currently looking like we're not going to get that. As you can see, we had a break of the lower time frame downtrend seen here. Break, retest, continuation. Should be getting a curl up on our oscillator, which should confirm this move. If we do get that, I'm thinking we're likely to come up towards... where is this? This, here we go. This order block right here. This is the 38,000 level. roughly. Here, let's say the top of this range. So, darn it. Let's say right there. 38.5. What is this? All right. So essentially, this level is the resistance that we're looking to come up to. It's possible that this is like the daily level, and we actually wick through here on lower time frames, and then close back down here. But either way, this is like the minimum that I'm looking for if we do pump from here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the minimum is 38.5. It's possible we go all the way to 40, or even come up and retest this point of control up here at 47.50.
Sweep liquidity up there.
Yep.
To really hammer on those shorts.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like I was looking at this pattern yesterday, well before it looked like it did now. Like I just sent you a message real quick. If could you pull that up actually so they could see it? Like I showed this to the members last night on what I thought like was going to happen based on the position that we were still in from the 31,000 range. And if that didn't nail it, boy, so far, at least.
Let's roll that beautiful beam footage. Let's take a look on lower time frames.
What was that I sent you on it? The hourly? Yep.
Hourly, sure.
All right, your boy is back.
We did have a little bit of a break above there, which I consider just a fake out. Throw back down to your level of
lower time frames. Like most of this is noise. Like look for trends. Look for being above the baseline and things like that. Try not to focus too much on extraneous price movements,
especially when you're on lower time frames. But so far, man, that is killing it.
You did kind of nail it.
Well, and I mean, that's why we haven't exited out of that. We're still waiting for 37,000 on our second TP. So
yes, and this is roughly an inverted head and shoulders. You can see we have equal size shoulders here. This little head.
Yep.
So we'll know for sure if we get a break above this, and at that point, let's look at it as a let's look at it as a measured move rather than as an order block we're targeting.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's gonna put us right at that 38 range, isn't it? Ooh, even higher.
No, it puts us back at the previous resistance, 41.7.
Interessante.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, that sort of goes with the theory that we're just going to sweep the highs. And I've heard people suggest we'll have a blow-off top here, which would probably mean like 44, 45K or something like that. Mm-hmm. I have no earthly idea, obviously, what we're going to do here. These are just, various suggestions of places that are good to target. It's about all we can do right now.
To me, it would just make sense to have that kind of a volatility to where we shot up to hit those levels very quickly and then came back down just to really wreck all these people that are trapped.
Yes. And I imagine people will probably leverage up more as we get above it.
Yeah, with the FOMOing, they'll end up switching their positions too long, and then they'll get hammered that way.
Well, how about this? Why don't we go and take a look and see if we feel like there's a chance for a weekly continuation and stuff. So let's head on over, take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I think Bitcoin dominance has been kind of the chart of the day because this is why all the alts are doing so well and Bitcoin not so much. So Bitcoin is up 0.1% today. It's recovered that much. Mm-hmm. Uniswap coins 4%, DeFi 11%.
DeFi is crushing it right now.
Yeah.
About to make new all-time highs.
So as you can see, we did have a retest of. Okay, thank you for that. We did have a retest of our previous high right here, which is what we were looking for. And now this is really bullishly postured here. If we make a new high here, I would just say just go all in on DeFi at that point. Because we're likely to just keep making new highs at that point.
DeFi is really poisoned itself as an outlier here.
Yeah, it's a very nice, interesting blue sky breakout if we get above here. Same for Shitcoins. Did bounce off the previous high here. As a matter of fact, we wicked through it pretty hard. We wicked through this entire area of liquidity right here. And we've recovered here, but right now it's not nearly as bullishly postured as DeFi is. You mean you can just see we're already assaulting the previous high right here. Uniswap coins still looks like it's in the throes of a pullback here. Maybe we'll get a bounce off the daily baseline, but for now there's nothing really for us to do. And I feel like people are perhaps a little traumatized by this weekend, where the gas prices were so awful.
Yeah, do you have? I mean, I know that you trade them quite often. Like, what was the worst that you saw them at this weekend?
Oh, at least 40 or 50 bucks for to dump your bags. Now imagine if your bags were like 150 bucks in and all.
Yeah. Like, it depends on how much you're trading. But yeah, once you hit a certain level, like, it's not worth it to trade on that anymore.
Yeah, Binance is really ideal for most of these coins. Uniswap.
Well, the thing is, Uniswap is like a flat fee dependent on gas prices. I mean, that's how the decentralized exchanges are. And then the centralized exchanges are percentage based. Right. So, I mean, if you're swinging a large enough account, it can still make sense to get into and out of Uniswap trades at those gas prices. But for most people,
for most people's trading
small retail, you're going to be eaten alive.
Yeah, that's why probably Binance. I mean, God forbid, you know how. I mean, take a look at the CC trades. Sometimes look how many trades we have spread out across alts. You can imagine if we took them all on Uniswap, it would be pretty challenging for most people. So
well,
Binance
I mean,
works.
as things stand, I mean, no one can. We put up too many trades for someone to take all of them anyway.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, between the two of us, you would have been in like what, like 8 or 10 in
20
one
or 30
day?
trades last week. It's impossible.
Yeah, like just yesterday, you would have been in like 6 or 7. Like,
well, at any given time on my journal, I might have 10 to 12 trades open. I'm not in all of my trades. I can't take all of them. I mean, there's just we just put up too many trades.
All right, how about I cut in real quick and I shout out the audience. You know, I can't go a day without doing that. I have to.
First of all,
recognize.
We need to know who is at your door.
Just the Amazon dude.
The Amazon dude. They're like BFFs.
All right, yeah, for sure.
Like it's Chris, the Amazon dude.
They drop off bags of cash. I wire them Bitcoin later. All right, that's basically how it works.
That's how they work.
I'm your local Bitcoin broker. You gotta show up with the Louis bag stuffed with bills.
And when it comes to Bitcoin, the first one is never free.
Oh yeah. All right.
No such thing as free Bitcoin.
Unless you're in on the original airdrop.
Okay. Satoshi sprinkled some love, eh? All right, let's see here. Who was in here first? Okay, I think I refreshed my chat at some point, so this may not be accurate, but Mr. Ether was in here first. Shoutouts this morning to Mr. Ether. Nice to see you here. Yeah, Mr. Ether, definitely one of our lead cheerleaders. He was definitely repping the CC this morning, telling people to pile in here. Don't miss the show. Marco, Sleepy Tuesday from Marco. Yes, happy or Sleepy Tuesday from Marco. I guess if you were at the trade terminal all night, you didn't get much sleep. But then again, look at the price action. I guess I don't blame some people from being glued to what's going on. V-Douche in the live chat saying hello CC, Cheap Vlog, B-Flow. We've got Tim Burgess in here saying, hey y'all, I'm new to this. Well, welcome Tim. I'm sure you are on a wonderful journey of learning.
An incredible journey of learning right now.
Yep, definitely. So strap in and try not to do anything too crazy. Listen to sage advice you'll find on this channel. GBU Professor Wally was in here saying, sup guys, no 30-minute warning this time. That's okay. I'm adulting today. All right. Let's see here. Jonah loved the show. Sad but true.
It's adulting.
Know what I said?
It sounded like you said something else.
I said adulting. He said no 30-minute warning this time. That's okay. I'm adulting today.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sure what the 30-minute warning is. Is that like the YouTube notification that always shows up 30 minutes after we start the show? Or maybe. But yes, shoutouts to Mr. Wally. Mr. Ether saying he bought the dip. Shoutouts to any dip buyers in the house. Jonah loved the show. So sad but true. Best part of my day is when I see CC notifications flash up. Hope all is well with the show. Yes, much love to Jonah. Yes, it is I'm sure it's a highlight in many people's days. Hard to believe that it may be the case, but yes, I'm sure it's a highlight to at least the 50
Why is it
plus.
hard to believe, Jack?
You know, we're not the, we're no
Selling yourself
Justins.
short?
We're no Justins, right? I'm sure Justin brought a smile to everyone's face with that shiny head of his. We are just three dudes filling in the gap, but it's wonderful
We're
to hear.
our own people. Justin has his things. We have our things.
Yep, we have our
Takes all
style.
kinds.
He has his, so we do it our way, and it's always nice to hear from people like Jonah that they like what we do. So much love. Peckham08, there's only one question: has the new router been installed? And he says, I buy every dip. I don't need cash. Yes, I did. After the show yesterday, immediately installed the new router. Fingers crossed, everything works good. I'm sure it will be, because I'm pretty sure it was the modem router. But
People say we even
don't.
sound
I'm
better.
knocking on wood right now. All right, I don't want any more. Should we sound better?
That's what
Well,
they're saying.
Well then, magic
Right.
in the air. GB Wally, those indicators are up. Okay, Peckham, shouted him out. Let them buy. Don't knock on anybody buying. It's the greatest way to buy. Yes. Swissborg is one way to buy. Crypto Bulls in here. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Shout out to
with Borg in forever. We should look at that today.
Indeed. Grant Parsons saying, hey y'all. S. Hyatt in the live chat. Nice hash login. Dark Rico saying, Jack Satoshi, you heard it here first. No, I wish I was. B-Flow, can you look at Litecoin, Bitcoin? Yep, we'll do. Crypto Caveman, hey, what's going on, CC team? All the best already, up 24% on some of those dip buys. I'm looking at you, Jack. Yep, I did buy the dip, and I did make a handsome amount overnight. It was beautiful. All right.
I did too. I feel pretty good about having bought the dip overnight. I basically, I dumped it at 36, so now I'm looking to.
Yeah, these guys, come on, look at the light hands on these guys. We're still in it.
Rest in peace.
At least I'm still in it.
I was looking at like mad gains by the time I was going to bed, and I said, you know what? I'm just closing it out. I'm not going to be greedy here.
Yeah,
it's already up.
Never fault yourself for taking profit.
No, too many times.
You'll sleep a little easier anyway.
Too many times I slept on 1,000% gains on Bybit and woke up to most of
this
the
This guy had 1,000% gains yesterday. You just heard him, guys. He said it.
He did post it into the group. The screenshot.
It was 1,000. It was a 10x log from the bottom, so that'll do it. Crypto Caveman, welcome to the best TA on YouTube. If you are new here, and smash those likes. Yep, take his advice and do smash the like. AJ says, I've had no problem Bybit. Coinbase is a joke. I think they're one of the oldest exchanges in regards to the US, and customer service is unexcusable. Yeah. Coinbase, I guess, sleeping on their laurels. Floyd, what sort of person would knock?
Here's a big bug that Coinbase has. It shows incorrect balances.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's like you put through an order and it'll deduct it from one side but not the other.
And it'll crash your portfolio balance.
Yeah, and so then if you go to sell, it's like, oh no, you don't have this thing that you just bought unless you refresh the page, and then the real balance will show up, and then it will let you. It's like, it's ridiculous. And like you said, Coinbase is one of the oldest. It's inexcusable.
Very convenient, but maybe it's, I don't know. Well, they have their excuses. I don't use it, and it's just, I guess, how it is. Maybe one day someone else will come up and dethrone the U.S. exchange king. All right, shouting out the last couple of people and moving on with the show. Floyd is in here. $20 super chat came in from GB Wally, including a set of requests, and I will definitely get to those, Wally. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. And finally, we have RK. RK joined up the chat saying, what's up, ladies? Shoutouts to RK. GT Mark IV is in here saying, what's up, CC? Crypto Fox, hello. It's busy in the live chat today. Got my work cut out. Agency, Justin come back or something. And F66Z saying, bruh. And Utah in here. Nice hash login. And Marco. All right. Everyone shouted out. I do have to name everybody individually because there's a big part of what makes this show possible is the consistent and loyal audience that comes through and supports us.
Thank you guys for showing up every day so we're not talking to ourselves.
Yep.
Thank you.
Because we would be just talking to ourselves if you guys didn't show up.
It would be unbearable otherwise. Okay. Got everybody shouted out. Yeah, I'm going to start collecting the requests, so keep putting them in the chat, guys. Requests will come up later, but in the meantime, let's let Alex get back into the flow of the chart analysis.
Sure. Essentially, what this is telling us is that for the foreseeable future, alts are likely to appreciate against Bitcoin. So what does that look like? Let's go on to lower time frames and actually take a look at alts appreciating against Bitcoin. I want to look at let's look at FUSD. And Bitcoin USD. Whoops. Okay. Well.
That's a name that I keep hearing whether I like it or not.
Hey, that rhymes.
Just a bunch of dot. Interesting little shelf Ethereum's building right there.
Yeah. Well, let me move this down here to get these kind of even. There we go. Whoops. Wait, no. Where'd the other one go?
We got a comment in the chat here that asks us if we want to become famous, we can buy some followers and viewers. That would be cool.
I'm not sure it quite works that way.
I know.
You can definitely pay to have Russian bots juice your stats, but that's not how we roll here, guys.
That's idiotic. I'm going to go ahead and block you, my friend.
No,
I can't block him.
If it was just somebody, one of our regulars trolling us.
No, it's from Restream.
Gotcha.
All right, here you go. During this time, you can see as we drop here, ETH makes a higher low than Bitcoin does, and then makes a higher high than Bitcoin does in this spot. So you see, we're all the way up here at this shoulder. If this was ETH,
and that's what I was saying when I first saw that. That's an interesting little shelf it's building because it is higher. It looks poised more bullish than Bitcoin for sure.
Cool. And this is ETH Bitcoin during this time. We see the drop is at 1430. This is right here, 1430. As you can see, this is when we start going up. This is right when we start appreciating. During this time, ETH makes more gains on Bitcoin. So you can see these things play out across the different charts. So this is good. This leads me to believe that Bitcoin is slowly being turned into alts. Like someone is dumping their Bitcoin for alts in these places. So, I mean, that's essentially what we're seeing. We're seeing Bitcoin value in the same spot that alts are gaining value. That's good. And there's heavy support, so we know that anybody selling in these places won't have very heavy slippage. Gosh, there's so many alts we could look at. Why don't we look at DeFi, and then I kind of want to look at the Dixie and the broader markets, and then we'll look at chart requests.
Yeah, we haven't hit the traditionals too hard lately because we've been focusing on the crypto market.
Okay. There we go. All right, so again, what we're looking at is DeFi perp, kind of giving us the go-ahead to go all in on DeFi here. Well, not all in, but you know what I mean. We really love, this is the swing high of August and September. So you can see we come up, we break the high bullishly, and then retest it and get a nice reaction off of our retest. Remains to be seen how we will finish out the day. I mean, if we finish out the day like way down here and start making new lows, then that's bad. But for right now, this is the most bullish out of all the different alt perp charts. So AAVE, at this point, it is making a new all-time high today. And you have to say to yourself, if we get a crossover here, that it's time to re-enter AAVE. Like, okay, it didn't have much of a pullback. Or if it did, it just got bought up too fast. Is this a good... With 1 day, 25% pullback, and then AAVE is just like, nah, man.
I ain't having it.
Beat me to it. I ain't having it. Winks here. I mean, this is just super strong. We have a break of the downtrend, and then I imagine we're going to have to finish this day up. This is going to be a continuation signal. We'll take this. I'm taking this. This looks super good. And then let me show you this chart. Look at that. That is very bullishly postured. I'd want to take that, I think, all the way up to 49, 50 bucks up here. SWRV, I don't like how this is still hanging around its lows. So many other alts are doing better, especially on their USD pairs. This has lost a lot of value against Bitcoin. I'm just not really interested in this unless it does something more, right? What's it doing hanging around its lows when all these other alts are pumping? Not strong enough for us. Not interested. I almost wanted to delete it off the list. Like, get out of here, SWRV. We don't even want to look at you anymore. Sushi, well, really seems to be
recovery on Sushi.
Yeah. It's holding the weekly trend. What more do you want from it?
Told you I got like 29 Sushi that I'm never selling.
Ooh.
Just to see what happens with it.
Serum is kind of strong here. Okay. It just kind of feels like we're at resistance here. Even if we came up to here, I'm not sure I would want to take it yet. We could still break down more, come down and retest this area. I guess I'm not really interested in Serum in this spot yet. But Band looks really good, having held this resistance in this spot. So as you see, this is resistance, resistance here, resistance, resistance, resistance. And support now? Yes, please, sign me up. I think Band looks fantastic here. What's the Bitcoin pairing look like? Because I think the Bitcoin pairings are going to tell the stories in a lot of these things. Uh-oh. Are we breaking a trend? Hello.
Not quite, but you're almost.
Yeah, we're almost there. We might just trade sideways outside of it. And remember, one of the reasons why we're interested in Band here is just that Band is so far depressed on its... Damn it!
Every time it gets
it's just so depressed on its Bitcoin pairing that even a move up to this area of resistance is a 150% move. Remember, this is a log chart, so the linear is... Yeah, now pretty interesting. I mean, even if we were just come up to here, this is a big move. 50% move right there. So nothing to sneeze at, but we're just not quite outside of this resistance. Solana is going for it. Missed opportunity right here.
Yeah, but was it? You didn't have any water there when it first started going, and then once it started going, it was a little too far. I mean, you just don't catch some of them.
This was still felt overextended, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty hard to catch this one.
Yeah, and still sleep at night.
Yeah. Meta, this could be an interesting support level, but we might come down here again. I really do like the break the logarithmic trend here, though. I imagine, or at least I expect that we'll continue to appreciate here up to $2-3, maybe even the $5 or $6 range. Link is I don't know. Link is looking a little flaccid here. It's very very wilted. It's finding some support in this spot, but it's not incredibly impressive looking. Below resistance here on lower time frames. Yeah, I think Link gets another pullback.
It's definitely not getting the price absorption that the other ones are getting with the rebound.
Yeah. One way or another, our oscillators pointed down, and there's just nothing for us to do here. I'm just hoping I can sort of glean some insight from the price action, but I'm not seeing much for us to do. If we start to curl up, then I would definitely want to take Link. If you look at Link Bitcoin, we're in a relatively ideal spot. You can see we did end up producing that swing failure pattern. So low, lower low, higher low. See, oh, suddenly we're not holding this trend. We have a trend break here, retest. It has potential, but there hasn't really been follow through yet. So that's what we're just kind of waiting for the follow through.
I thought Dot looked really weak right there, to be honest with you.
It does. It feels like it will pull back up towards resistance, shown here, this little nub. Probably wick through and then break back down towards to really retest the previous one.
I like it. I like it for 5.8 at least, or that other shelf right over there around the 680 range.
Yeah. We have not actually retested the previous high here on Dot. We kind of fell short. There's this big space right here. We barely traded at all. I would really think we're going to pull back up towards here slowly and then plummet. I think I want to pick it up near $5.90. I like this spot right here. I have it marked out as support. AVAX just keeps going. New all-time high today. Potentially going to be getting a continuation signal at the end today. Well, we'll probably take it. Failed breakout. That looks bad.
Now you just got to monitor it because it could end up just going sideways to where it's outside of that, then breaking back up. So
yeah,
you just need to watch it now.
You could always draw it off the weekly, and in that case, we have held it.
Yep.
RUNE looking a little weak here, especially when you consider how AVAX and AVAX and AAVE, yeah, they're all making new highs, but RUNE didn't make a new high. So does that mean RUNE's uptrend is
same with Link?
Yeah, is that on pause?
TOMO.
Nothing really to do here on TOMO. We're going to have a sell signal at the end today. Nothing to do on REN. Yep, there's nothing to do on REP. And then there's also nothing to do on REN. I do like how we're holding above the support level outside of the triangle, but
that looks pretty damn good though.
Yeah. All right, this could continue. This looks decent. If we hold like this and we close the week like this, we'll probably just keep wandering upwards.
Oh my.
We could find support here, but after such a big movement, I would much rather buy on a big pullback. I mean, maybe if you scored some around 10,000 or 11 on yesterday, then maybe you're sitting pretty, but for right now, there's nothing for us to do. KNC resting on support. Same for YFII. and YFII. Essentially, for all of these coins, we're waiting to see if this level is actually support or if we're going to wander upwards and have another plummet just like we did on Sunday and Monday. It was like a 24-hour long fall on Bitcoin. This is what I find myself saying over and over. This we'll see if this is a support level. SNX did make a new all-time high today. This is another one that could be a good long signal. It just keeps going. Comp, not a new all-time high, but a new high.
Looking strong.
Yeah, looking strong. So yeah, keep your eyes on DeFi coins, guys. DeFi seems to be where it's at right now. Why don't we do some? Alt requests?
Let's do it. All right, I'm going to start with this one because it just came in from Mr. Ether, a handsome $5 super chat.
Ooh.
Mr. Ether, thank you for the $5. And this request is for Tezos XTZ USDT on the daily, please, he says.
Okay. Gotta love how we've pulled back above the point of control. Look down below it again. Hold it right here. Kind of feels like we're resting on resistance turn support here, right? So here we see resistance here, support here, and now are we finding resistance or support in this spot right now?
Yeah, that's just one of those ones where you just need more time on it, because you're right in that basically purgatory zone of this could go either way, so you just need more evidence to point.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely nothing for us to do with it today. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing, though. Maybe that will kind of illuminate the situation a little better.
Beginning to come sideways out of that.
Yep. So this is... Yeah.
No trend break, no.
Well, we had this trend break.
Yeah, of that, larger parabolic.
Yeah.
A lot of down on XTZ lately.
Yeah. Well, I like how we formed a point of control in this area. It could be that we're doing some accumulation here, but there's just, once again, there's no sign really for us of what to do. Let me make my Fisher and Wada a little bigger. Remember we smallified that earlier.
Smallified.
Yes, that is the scientific term.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Smallified the Kids. God damn you, Rick Moranis.
That was a classic.
It was a classic.
Who didn't love that? Irresponsible dad.
Yeah. Was he, though? He was just a mad scientist dad. He was pretty responsible.
Just a goofball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a lot of Bitcoin pairings in that we are currently exploring whether or not we're going to lift off from the bottom here. We'll see these on we'll see this on a lot of different Bitcoin pairings. Well, AVAX definitely coming off the bottom here. The Iris is trading sideways. CTSI.
Yep.
Syscoin looks like it's coming off the bottom here.
Syscoin was one that I took yesterday, I believe.
Well, in that case, I think there is a lot to recommend this to us, especially how, as of today, we have broken back above support.
Yeah, took Syscoin yesterday, currently up 5.19% on that trade. Let's go, baby.
Guys, I'll tell you, this is synergy. It's synergy. It's Jason and I working together. It feels good.
It does. It feels nice.
Yeah. LRC looking good here for a weekly bounce. Look at that. All the way down here. Start moving back up. Very overextended from the weekly baseline.
I remember when we were talking about that because LRC just went nuts well before anything else, and everyone's like, well, it has to keep going. I'm like, we both were like, no, this was just the front runner. I guarantee you see all of this retraced, and look at that.
Yeah.
Speaking of LRC, let me just pull up Agency did leave a request a little earlier saying, could we look at RLC? But among RLC, he also had REN and YFI. So if you're going to segue into any other
Well,
ones.
we looked at REN and YFI already,
Oh.
so we did look at those.
Well then.
But let's pull up RLC. I have a small bag of RLC that's underwater, actually. Oof.
How much underwater?
Underwater.
I mean, if you're trying to catch cutlery, that's your time. But
yep, we're almost there, but we have not broken out of this pattern yet.
mm-hmm.
But once again, as you can see on lower time frames, we're starting to put in some interesting bottoming behavior. And if we do start to break up, I think RLC could put in a good run. Let's look at the USDT pairing. Look at that. We do have a break of trend. So yeah, I think this could be a really good position to buy RLC if this level holds. Essentially, we're on support. This is the retest of the trend, and then from here we continue. So this is once again predicated on all of these coins that I presented to you today, holding that support that we're at right now. If we break down further, then just forget it.
You should check out that 1 inch daily trend that I showed you earlier, because I believe it's finally breaking right now.
Ooh, okay.
On the day, or yeah, the hourly. It's quite a large trend.
Must be a higher time frame trend.
Yeah, you just have to make the chart smaller so you can get it from the very beginning on the huge dip. Yeah, you'll have to turn baseline off, because that's just,
okay.
You know.
Almost.
Yeah, I did it on ChartX. It looks a little bit better on ChartX, but yeah,
Okay.
it's getting super close on 1 inch here.
I do love this 12-hour bullish divergence here. To go along with it.
I just thought it was interesting.
Perhaps have it here. Yep, there we go. Yep.
I love that wick up to $120 for no reason.
I was talking to Crypto Shark, who is the developer. He figured out a way to eliminate these artifact wicks out of the data.
The outlier wicks.
Yeah. So essentially, you're going to be essentially the system is going to calculate via the liquidity whether that trade was actually possible, whether or not it's on the blockchain. It's like, wait a minute, there's no way someone actually bought this all the way up to $118. You know, it's a ridiculous conceit, but you know that's what the data like partially shows.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. I mean, it's certainly really interesting looking here in this spot.
Yeah, we're starting to break. Yeah, the hourly shows it the best, I think.
Okay. That was actually not what I wanted to grab.
Yeah, you're trying to grab that line. There you go.
Well, I'm gonna briefly draw it like this.
Yeah, mine looks just a tiny bit different than yours, but yeah, you get what I mean, though. We are beginning to break.
Where'd it go? Where'd my line go? Huh. Okay, well, we caught that live on air. I will be sure to show Crypto Shark the bug error that we were videotaping. So, yes, there is a break of the trend line that was previously here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks more like it.
That's close enough for Jazz. Anyway, it looks really good. I agree. Especially that 12-hour. We're putting in that nice bullish divergence that you see right here. The Fisher 9 here, it's lagging just a little bit. Let's
That means that 1 inch has to go up to $120 now, right?
Yep.
To match that wick. Wouldn't that be nice?
Interesting. Time transformation already getting this one. Fisher just a little behind. What's next? What do we have next for our viewers?
All right, agency. They did mention that they did YFI and RUNE earlier. So if you missed them, be sure to check the timestamps right after the show. You'll be able to rewind, find the spot.
I know we had a $20 super chat there from GB Wallet.
We did we? That's right. Let's probably start with that one. Let's do it.
Yes,
this one,
you can buy our
USD.
Yes, we definitely should give priority to the most generous among the audience. Here we go. This one's from Wally, $20. Chart request for he always does these inversely. Litecoin USD on Coinbase. Please assume break even at 147. Where would a take profit and stop loss be? Teach me, oh masters.
He wanted Coinbase.
All right, so Wally just showed up at the Jedi Academy, and he wants to know how to use the Force and swing a lightsaber. So let's take a look.
All right, so presumably you either bought here on the way down, or here on the wick, or here on the way up. So these are basically, if you bought around 145, these are the places. For now, I think I would look for a retest of maybe up to like $160. Come up here, retest
the bottom of the trend.
Yeah, because I do expect us to break down further, maybe all the way down to $100. I really like this spot right here. Let's turn the baseline back on. Yeah, so unlike Bitcoin, we're not hanging out above the baseline still. We're hanging out below the baseline still. And for that reason, we're not looking for longs on Litecoin. We're actually looking for shorts. I do expect us to kind of like creak back up to here on low volume and then finish breaking down this way. So
I would agree. And what you're basically getting at is we're looking at a long position that you technically shouldn't be in, but if you were in one, this is probably what you would look for. If not, just get out of the trade.
Yeah. So maybe you're underwater from here. Maybe you grabbed here and you're just slightly underwater. I think you could still take it up and make some money off of this trade, but I wouldn't stay in it for the long term. If you're trying to grab a Litecoin long term hold, then I would wait, because we're probably getting a larger pullback here on Litecoin, and that means we're probably getting a larger pullback on Bitcoin. I would imagine.
At some point, yeah.
Would you advise on any take profit targets on this one?
Yeah, the take profit target is up here, man.
All right.
Right here.
Yeah, around 160, 162.
Yeah, 162.
Yeah, and with that, it's very easy, especially when you're in a position that's underwater, that you're waiting on some price level to get back to. It's super important emotionally when it hits that to take profit, get out of it. Even if it's going to keep running, or if you think it's going to keep running, that's usually what gets people trapped. Like, it gets right to where you wanted it to be to get out, and then you're like, nope, I'm going to try to get a little bit more out of this, and then it dumps on you.
Yep, I learned my lesson the hard way in that domain, and that's why last night I just closed that whole long out and I went to bed and I slept peacefully. Versus waking up.
There's nothing better than good sleep.
Yeah, versus tossing and turning all night and then waking up and being like, oh, why didn't I sell? Why did I get greedy and try to tap the next move up? And yeah, sage advice here. All right, Mr. Wally, hopefully that covers.
I know how easy it is to do, so.
Indeed. All right, next one is B-Flow. Can we take a look at Litecoin, Bitcoin, which, okay, we just looked at Litecoin, but not the Bitcoin pair.
I did not look at Litecoin, Bitcoin. All right, let's just say that they dovetail well together.
Yep, let's do it. And then I got another one.
My gut feeling is that this is a decent location to be picking up Litecoin, Bitcoin. By my chart, we have this. We have the break of this weekly descending wedge right here. So essentially, decreasing volatility, and finally breakout and some volatility expansion here on volume. But now we're retesting the lows. maybe slightly higher time frame. There we go. So now we're testing the lows here, and I just don't feel very bearish on Litecoin here. I would be pretty surprised if we closed new weekly lows.
Wasn't there just recently some new Litecoin news?
The Flare token airdrop coming to Litecoin, bringing potential smart contract ability with it. So
I still don't fully understand that, but I guess it's good news. I also heard Litecoin was getting Mimblewimble implementation. That was like in September. I don't even know what happened with that.
They got tired.
So yeah, for now, there's nothing for us to do on Litecoin. I guess we could have potentially entered a short over here. We would have gotten stopped out at break even here before the real thing happened. So it looks like it would have been no. You know what? That is what happened. We were in a Litecoin Bitcoin short. We did this thing. So yeah, we hit take profit 1, and then we stopped out at break even, and then boom, we had the drop. And here we are on Litecoin. There's nothing to do right now. No short to take, no long to take. But we'll keep our eye on it, because I agree that from a long-term perspective, with the break of this trend and us kind of holding over this support line, looks like a good place to be picking it up for the long term, because it could appreciate Bitcoin greatly. Again, Bitcoin greatly.
Litecoin's one of those things that I kind of think is going to be around for a long time.
It certainly has held out.
all right. Okay, I do believe BFlow had another follow-up coin, and that's TOMO Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look at the TOMO Bitcoin pairing, if we may.
TOMO Bitcoin, it looked strong earlier today. That's right, and it is still strong. All right, so unlike a lot of the other coins that we were looking at, which were kind of trading sideways out of their trend, TOMO is just like, fuck y'all, I'm out. And it's just taken off. It has been pretty strong off the bottoms. Already somewhere like 75% off the bottoms right here.
Kind of strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen such strong pumps recently.
For crypto, I mean, 75 is another nickel in the jar.
It's like, well, I wouldn't write home about it, but it's all right.
I would still write home about
it. Here, let's use the weekly trend here.
Alas, I only made 75% today.
I don't want to cheat on this one. Let's take out our line chart. That's a breakout. Okay, so yeah, whenever you're trying to draw a trend line and you don't want to like cheat too much, just put it on line, and that'll give you the true closes. This looks like a breakout to me, at least of the weekly trend. This is good, and it happens here where we kind of like pause below it and then break above it, come down and retest it. I like TOMO in this spot. It's strong. It breaks our trend, and then TOMO USDT. Look at that. We break the daily trend here, hold it, hold the support level 2, continue onwards. I'm not sure what's going on with this the sell signal. This is telling us there's nothing for us to do on TOMO today. Maybe, the market does turn here and TOMO has to come down and retest again. Maybe even the point of control. I'm not really sure. But
that
I think
also could be a false signal, though, because if we get any kind of price appreciation today, that's likely to go away.
Yeah, but I do like TOMO in this spot, and staying up here, retesting here. This is all still relatively bullish. This looks like a relatively bullish reaccumulation here in this spot. Okay, what's next?
TOMO looking good.
All right, shout outs to BFlow and TOMO looking good indeed. All right, what other delicious, juicy coin waiting to pop is waiting for us out there. Let's see here. Maybe it'll be one of these requests. All right. I saw this question earlier, and quite a few people answered it in the live chat. Crypto Caveman, can you store USDC on a ledger? Is there an ERC20 version?
Yes.
I do believe it's a USDC, or
Yes,
it's a
yes.
ERC coin. Yep, it's a yes on all counts. And I'm pretty damn sure it even has ledger support. So, yes, USDC is a fully fledged featured stablecoin. All right, what do we got next?
The problem is, though, that you could be blacklisted, and then it's like a bank account. They can freeze it anytime they want.
Yeah.
USDC is not a real crypto.
Indeed.
It's not decentralized.
And it's the same thing with USDT Tether. I do think we've covered a show in the past with when Justin was hosting. He did a feature on blacklisted Tether addresses as well as other stablecoins. So indeed, these aren't completely decentralized stablecoins. They do have a centralized issuer. So even though they are issued on the decentralized permissionless Ethereum network, they are issued with restrictions, right? They have a central body depositing and distributing these coins, and yes, so you're vulnerable to that. But otherwise, yes, they're stable, and assuming you're a good boy, you'll probably not end up losing those coins. Stay off the dark web.
Or good girl.
Or good girl, that too. All right.
Whatever you identify as these days. A stove.
Let's see here. This one's from Vidush. Dash USDT and BAT USDT, please. Let's start with Dash.
Okay. I know Dash had that really big pump earlier this week along with the other privacy coins.
Remember when I messaged you and said, hey, are you having a problem with the sheets? Because I posted 2 trades that didn't end up going out. One of them was Dash.
This looks strong. Look how we've recovered over this weekly support here. Well, resistance churn support. Very interesting. Right now, we're below the resistance. Well, we're testing it. We're flirting with it. We'll see what happens, but this is our weekly resistance level. Closing above this on the weekly, super bullish. Closing below this on the weekly, mildly bearish.
Yeah, it could just be more time.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eyes on this. We could get a weekly long signal right here. We could cross up right here, and we'll be above the previous swing high. It'll be
I like where it's building already.
Yeah, huge signal to go all in. Well, not all in, but it'll be huge to keep saying that. But
I know.
But what I mean is, like, it's likely to get a strong trend out of that. We're looking on the weekly here. This is not the 4-hour time frame. So if there's going to be a strong continuation on the weekly, then it's just, my mind is naturally like, oh, I want to be in on that trend. So
we should rephrase it to full risk.
Yeah, full risk trade.
Up to whatever you feel.
20x leverage, full risk. That risk. Yeah. All right, so Dash and what was the second one?
BAT USD, I believe.
I haven't heard BAT in a while.
Sorry, guys. I'm like a goldfish with these charts. I got like short-term memory of one. I can remember one chart ahead. Well, I will say this. It has certainly been a very long downtrend.
Yeah, BAT is not.
And what goes down must come up, as we know. Let's put online again. Dang it. Oh, wow. Well, we can even be a little bit more. We've totally broken the weekly trend. Here, even when we make it the daily trend, I think we're good here. Beautiful. We broke it today. I like BAT here. We are doing that trading sideways out of resistance that we have been talking about, except it actually did trade sideways out of resistance. We should be getting a 12-hour long signal at the end of today. It's not a daily signal, but we're almost there. We're above the baseline. We're above zero. We're above the dead zone on momentum. We just don't have any volatility yet. We're still just kind of trading within a small sideways range right now.
I'm sure buyers are still
volatility gets in. I like BAT just instantly going up to the 800s to 900s. Something like that. Just boom. It's a very nice order block right here. And we'll want to retest this support as resistance. So we're just going to come right up into here, I think. I think BAT looks really good in this spot. Let's look at the USDT pairing. Essentially, we're at that same level of support that we're on a lot of the different markets. Actually, we're underneath resistance here, but
still looking at that, my mind jumps to that. Looks like resistance becoming support.
Well, I am hoping.
Right there. I mean, look at that old shelf prior to you went up above, traded below. Yeah, right there.
Resistance here.
Boom.
Break, test, support, and support here again.
That would be if we close up above that. That's reclaiming. So that would be very strong.
It would be very strong if we closed back above this trend line right here.
Yep.
Anyway, the Bitcoin pairing looks really good, and because all the USD pairs are so interrelated with Bitcoin, we should not be surprised that if Bitcoin is looking rough, all the USD pairs are also looking rough as well. Maybe I will get 31.7. 31.8. Let's see what happens here. Nice little fake out here. We hovered here for 2 hours, and now we're starting to turn around lower time frames. This is local market point of control. Kind of trading inside of.
I think we come down and test 34.4.
Right here?
Somewhere in there. If that. We'll see.
Okay.
We've already built another
we do have a 15-minute bearish divergence here. That leads me to believe we'll probably get some follow through. What's next on our list, Jack?
All right, shout outs to Vidush for the 2 requests there. And let's move in. I'm going to read a couple comments. I saw one question here that looked interesting. It was from BFlow. I saw a tweet today stating that 33,000 Bitcoin was sent to Binance Cell wallet. How can one tell if Bitcoin is being sent to a Cell wallet?
I mean, you can't just by looking at the wallet address. These are wallets that people have marked out previously as being a Binance Market Cell wallet. So I know the whale alert that you're talking about. I saw you post about it in general earlier. There's just no way to know just by looking at it, but a lot of people track wallets, and especially wallets of exchanges in particular. That is information that you could look up. I know it's out there. So now, if you wanted to, and you could set just tracking software on Etherscan and what's one of the block explorers, like the Bitcoin Block Explorer websites, where you can just track a wallet and see what goes on all the time. For instance, you can track the Mt. Gox settlement wallets. I know there's websites that track that.
Those been moving?
They have not.
That would be pretty big news.
It would be big news. We would have heard about it.
Do you remember what's his name? Takahashi somewhere or another, the lawyer that came through.
Japanese lawyer, yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese lawyer that came through our live chat.
Yeah,
where's he now?
They were gonna release it. I believe
December,
it was December 15th.
Yep, and then again in January. I haven't seen him, so if you're watching, homie, come back to the chat. Let us know how the
come back, homie.
How did the settlement work out for everybody? He was predicting certain doom with the coins getting released. All right.
Well, maybe the coins got released last week for all we know, and that's why Bitcoin dumps. This is why it happened. Find out more, read here. This is why the market dumped.
Well, that's why I shorted it from 40.
This is why.
All right. Another take on BFlow's question is generally, people send Bitcoin to an exchange to sell. They usually withdraw the Bitcoin to store. So usually when people see a big batch of Bitcoin heading to Binance, they're usually assuming that someone's moving in to sell that. That or flip it for alts,
but
right?
What he was looking at, it literally, the whale alert said, sent to Binance Market Sell Wallet. And he's like, well, how would anybody know that? It's because somebody marked it out a while ago. It's not like it was automated letting us know.
Exactly, yep. There's a lot of analytics. It
might even be a little deceiving.
Indeed, there's a lot of analytics on the blockchain because everything's open. People aggregate data and they try to put names to all the addresses, all the activity. And this is kind of what we touched on when we were talking about PayPal. It's likely that we have a pretty good idea, how much Bitcoin PayPal has and what they're doing with it at any given time. It does give a level of transparency. It might not be perfect, but at least give us a general idea what everyone's holdings are in the game, and gives us, more educated estimates as to who's doing what.
Bitcoin is only private in the sense that you're ignorant of who is behind any given transaction or wallet at face value, but Bitcoin, the blockchain itself, is completely transparent. Mm-hmm. You can see every wallet address and transaction if you know to go look there for it. It's all right there on the blockchain. Every transaction is there. Because obviously you can read the blocks and every transaction is on the blocks. So there's just no hiding these things as long as you know who owns the wallet.
Plus,
that's the trick.
Plus, there's this beauty in Bitcoin where you can download the blockchain yourself. It's still entirely doable for even an individual user to download the entire blockchain and self-audit it and validate all the blocks to this present moment. Other blockchains are almost too big, too cumbersome to do that.
Ethereum, it's impossible to spin up a full node, is my understanding. That's one of the reasons why they're switching to Ethereum 2.0.
Indeed. Now, you could still potentially get a good snapshot of what's on the network, but yes, the beauty in Bitcoin is being able to have a copy of the accounting book yourself and self-validate everything on the book. This is one of the most important features of Bitcoin. Anywhere else you go, you have to trust a third party and their accounting to say, oh yeah, don't worry, everything on the books is sound. Here, you want to look at our books? Let's have our accountant bring one out. And you always gotta trust their word for it, their accountant for it. Bitcoin is very unique in being able to self-audit and self-validate all of that information, and it's probably one reason why scaling probably won't come anytime soon to Bitcoin. It's a tough compromise to make. If we do scale dramatically, it might make it pretty much unfeasible to hold. Well, no, just the blocks will get ginormous, right?
Yeah.
It just makes it hard for even a normal person to store a local copy of it, let alone have it, have your machine go over it and audit everything. And then there's the issue that, right now with the high-speed internet, everything's great and all, so maybe we can pass around 32 megabyte blocks. But what if, we are in a more crisis scenario, right? What if there's restrictions? What if we literally have to go back to communicating on phone lines, right? If you have to, if you default to a phone line, it's you're gonna wish Bitcoin remained very lightweight and easy to small 1 megabyte blocks. So really, there's a big aspect of this that involves being bomb-proof, right? So. But let's not stray too far. This question comes from Barricade in the live chat. I'm learning to trade crypto. What is the best market to trade on? Depends what you're doing.
It really depends on what you're looking to do. If you're looking to just trade Bitcoin, I would suggest a futures market like what we trade on Bybit. I don't know where you are physically located, so that might actually change it.
Any exchange worthwhile for you to trade on is going to require a VPN at this point, because all the American exchanges suck too much.
You can do Binance US, but
they suck.
Yep, they suck. Use a VPN, and if you're trading mostly Bitcoin, Bybit is our recommendation. And if you're looking for the shitcoin casino, if you're looking for altcoins and a wide array of them, well, Binance regular Binance with a VPN is good.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
a lot more.
FTX has a really good selection of perpetual contracts for alts, which is great if you want to be able to short alts.
FTX, another solid pick. But if you are new to this game, our advice would probably be if you're learning to
Keep
trade.
it simple.
Yep, don't dive onto a market just yet.
Jump into the group and talk to some people who have been trading for a little bit to get a little bit better idea of where you want to start.
Start by stacking your Bitcoin and avoid the temptation of trading until you're really prepared to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
the uneducated gets destroyed in this market, and it's for a reason.
It's real shark's pool out here. You don't want to be the bait. All right, so that covered Barricade's question. Thank you, Barricade, and welcome to the channel. All right, this comes from Nice Hash Login. Can we take a look at Wise on ChartX? And he would like to see the Ethereum pairing and the USD pairing, if you could compare the two on ChartX.
Sure.
Thank you.
USD pairing. It looks like it is starting to find support, but I expect it will be like the other alts in that it will pull up and then crash down to another support level.
That looks like a swing failure.
Yeah, this is too overextended. There we go. This is the daily. I think that's a little bit more apparent. And we also have a really strong three black crows pattern here. Yeah, so little bit of correction and then boom. I'm not sure exactly where we can expect to pull back to. We'll look at because there's like literally no data of support levels here to go off of. But
all you've done is go up.
Yeah. We will use fib retracement and kind of hope for the best. I think we should probably look to around either 44, 45 cents, 32 cents. I think these make the most sense.
You go down to the 4 hour. You might get a little bit more evidence of where your blocks are.
Well, clearly we are not the only people using this fib level, because as you can see, we catch super hard right here on the 0.5. We hold the 0.382 right here. But overall, I still feel like we do have a broken trend here. So wander up and then come back down, make a real low. So that's what I think I'd like to see happen with Wise here. I'm not interested in entering it at this point. We'll look at the F pair too. That's right. You want to see the F pair. Where are you? Here we go. This looks even worse. The 4 hour, we already have an exit signal right here. Although the Fisher is kind of breaking down a little bit at these levels. Yeah. We're super overextended. We pull back up. We're definitely going to break down here. This looks like this is the support level we should be looking at. Okay, what's next?
All right, thank you for the Wise request. Let's have a look at what we have lined up. All right, Tezos, we already did. This request here we already did. Let's look at SXP for Tyler R in the live chat.
All right, let's check out Swipe. I like it here because of this break of the trend. Wherever you want to try and draw the trend from, as you can see, we've broken it. So I think I'd like to see a retest of the baseline here and then pull all the way to maybe 140, 150. We could still trade sideways for a while. We don't currently have a buy signal. Right now, there's nothing for us to do. But because of this trend break, that's why I feel bullish about it. I mean, you guys have seen all the other alts. So the fact that we also have this structure right here leads me to believe we'll probably get best behavior out of it. But for right now, our system is not telling us to do anything on swipe. So there's just nothing for us to do here. As far as swipe Bitcoin, it is doing that thing where it is currently trading sideways, perhaps out of resistance. Man, it's pretty oversold against Bitcoin here. It looks pretty strong. The fact that we're back above the baseline here, we're trading outside of this resistance, and you know what the rest of the alts look like. Basically, if this was alone, I wouldn't be interested in it at all. But with a combination of how the other alts look, then this is kind of interesting. Once again, there's still nothing for us to do. We don't have a buy signal here. We don't have volatility in yet. The dead zone is still trying to catch up over here to this alt. So I would just not touch it yet, but keep my eyes on it. I think it's the best way to handle it.
All right, you heard it here. Stand down and stand by on SXP. Let's see what else we got. Got a couple questions lined up that came in from a few new audience members. I see the live view count is buzzing, so people are probably fresh people probably in here. Ben in the live chat asks, "Are we looking at a buy if it breaks 32K question mark?" So he's asking, should we buy?
Are you saying buying a break of support?
Well. I mean, the support is like between 30 and 32K. It's very spongy level support down here. If you're saying breaking below 32K is a buy and also holding above 30K, then I would agree. Like, if we come back down in this area, this is totally a buy for me. And this is underneath 32K. 32K is essentially this level right here. And I'm definitely a buyer down here. But I would also be out instantly if we broke back below 30K and closed down here. Then I'm out again. At that point, we would have to assume we're just going to keep dropping to wherever. But I think it's pretty normal for price to retest a low that it just made before continuing onwards.
Indeed. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily imagine that a break of 32 would spell instant doom and a trip down to the 20s.
We're in a very high liquid time here, so we're probably going to see wicks to either side. So it's important that you're not just saying what we've broken, but where we're holding or where we're breaking below. Because, yeah, we could absolutely get wicks down into the 31 and then get bought back right back up.
Yeah, I mean, if we end up trading below 30, then no, I don't want 31,000 Bitcoin anymore. Yeah. I don't want that price. But if we wick down to that area and then pop back up a bit, then yeah, like big thumbs up. That's very nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind scooping up the next bottom myself, but after, making a nice trade, catching the last bounce off of 30, 31,
I don't want to give those gains back.
Yeah, I don't want to give them back. So as tempting as it is to double dip and buy another bounce of the 30K, I might wait on that. But it's on the face of it, it does look like a good
double dip. I have a limit order set, and I figure it's one thing if we wick into the area and then we get back above it, then I'm fine. But if we go through my limit orders and then we're just like still sitting down there and then we start trading below it, then I'll just exit. Take my own.
Word. All right, well stated. Let's move into the next question. Thank you, Ben, and be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Who do we got next? This comes from probably also a new user, Michael Horak, in the live chat says, can you use small amounts of money on Binance? Well, I guess it depends what you mean by small, but
yes, that's the whole beauty of crypto, man. You can use, I mean, depending, you can trade with $10 if you want. Like, it's all just a percentage of what you're trading.
That is true, but Binance has like a minimum size. I think it's like $5 or $10 for a trade. It's something. It's not unreasonable, but it does kind of limit you in that way. You don't have to be an accredited investor with like $10,000 in your trading account or anything like that to trade on crypto exchanges or Binance. You know, my first trading account was $500. I blew that trading account, by the way, but my first trading account was $500, and I'm glad I kept my first trading account small because if you're starting out, you don't know what you're doing, and you probably will blow your account.
Yep. You're going to blow it out, I promise you. Like, read all the books and all the literature on people that do this. Like, you're rarely going to find a guy who came and is like, you know what, I figured it all out from the first go, and everyone else is stupid. Like, that just doesn't kind of happen, man. Like, you got to kind of take your bones. And with this, I would always, if you're not someone if you're new to this, you need to keep that low. I mean, even paper trade, for God's sakes, just to figure out what you're doing, because you can lose money so quickly doing this.
Speaking of blowing out accounts, I see another new user that just came across our live chat. Lagavine325 says, are you guys having success? I'm new here. I lost $1,200 yesterday. Is there any good course you guys suggest, or paid signals or whatever? I really want to improve. And they mentioned that
boy, did you come to the right place.
I did leverage 20x in the pump and then hit liquidation. So they got liquidated yesterday, which means they're really hurting and they're looking for a place to probably
can't have that back.
Yeah, lick their wounds and find a new approach.
I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, my first suggestion would be to not leverage trade when you're new, because at the very least, when you are spot trading, if you make a big mistake, you don't lose everything. Generally, the price of whatever spot asset does not go to zero. You could very quickly blow out your account eventually with spot trading. If you like lose 60%, lose 60%, lose 60%, lose 60%, eventually you'll be close enough to zero that the distinction might not matter very much to you. But it's not the same as ending up with a fat zero in your account when you're leverage trading. And also, when you're leverage trading, you can take much larger positions than you probably should be. And you can't do that spot trading.
It can go to your head a little bit.
Yeah. And you get a couple of gains where you like make 40 or 50% on your accounts. That's really addictive. You're like, I want to do that again. I want to do it today. You know, you start thinking like, geez, by the end of the year, I could be a millionaire if I just keep doing this thing. And then, of course, it doesn't matter how many times you make 100% on your account, because the first time you lose 100%, that's it. You're out. You're done.
And that was my whole thing, man. Like, with trading coming into this, I wanted to win every single trade that I made. And when I first started this off, I would just kind of way over position size, just because I'd put them all into each trade. And then say like you have a 9 out of 10 hit rate, man, you're doing great up to that 9. But then when you hit that 10th one, that one loss wipes all of those away. All of that work was for nothing. If you are not assessing your risk and managing it, you're going to statistically blow out your account.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Trading is a game of skill with a large element involved. You know, the skill is where you enter and where you exit, and not where, but when, rather. Excuse me. Timing. When you enter, when you exit, and everything in between is random chance, basically.
And you mitigating your risk.
Yeah, we've got indicators and stuff to give us edges on the market, but it is no guarantee.
So
go ahead.
So what we do basically here in a nutshell, if you are still listening, what is it, Lagavine? Basically what we do at CC is we teach people how to create their own statistical RAND system using proprietary indicators, and not even proprietary. You could even use them there's thousands of free indicators out there, but basically teach you the methods to teach yourself how to get into positions, how to get out of positions, where to, like, what to look for. So at the end of the day, if you don't if you're entering in a trade and you don't have where your stop loss is, where your take profit is, what your risk assessment is, if you don't have all of those things beforehand, you shouldn't be doing it.
You're going to lose eventually.
You're
Maybe
going
not
to
right
lose.
away. I mean,
Yep.
maybe you've got fantastic instincts, and that's cool. Some people do, and some people nail it for quite a while when they're doing discretionary trading, just right off the bat. And maybe it's not even beginner's luck. But what will happen is that regular non-beginner luck will catch up with you, and you'll blow the account eventually.
You're fighting an eternal uphill battle at that point.
Yeah.
If even if you do have some success, I guarantee your personal life is going to struggle, your sleep is going to struggle, like, you're just not gonna be able to stay awake, man, like, you will burn yourself out before, like, this game will beat you if that's the way you play it.
Well
Anyway,
said.
yeah, so to sum it up, we have a course. I think it's really good. It's kind of advanced. We teach you how to make a system of your own so that you can trade the markets and not have to stare at the charts and try and figure stuff out. The system will just give you a yes or a no. We also provide signals. We provide market analysis. I think our service is really good, but I would rather kind of let our membership speak for itself.
Yeah.
You can ask our members.
It's difficult not to sound shilly in this because we do this for a reason, because we've all been there before. And to me, this was a passion just because it took me from doing something I didn't want to do, my old job, and then it allowed me to take control of my own financial life. And teaching that to other people is probably the best gift that I could ever give back, because it's something that it's done for me. I didn't start this group originally. I came across just like you in the chat, and then joined it and learned through the different courses that they have, as well as compiling that with my knowledge, and I can say that it has wholeheartedly changed my life.
Yeah, your
And
stay.
if we can do that for anyone else, like, that's the dream, man.
Yeah, your stay at CC will be very rewarding, I assure you. Be sure to check out krakencryptocurrency.com to learn more. When you're ready, I say pull the trigger on the premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's where you can get access
Just go in
to
the general chat and ask around, man.
But yes,
I mean,
in the meantime, I'd say join the Discord and just stick around our community. Subscribe. I'd say don't buy anything yet. Don't feel committed to anything.
Well,
just
I don't say don't do that yet, but you don't have to.
yes.
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
If that's how you feel, let us prove it to you.
Exactly. That's usually, I think, I don't force anybody or pressure anybody to come immediately purchase our premium or join our premium group. Just subscribe to us, watch us every day, and I'm certain after a few weeks we'll have earned your confidence. I'm sure the professionalism of our analysts does come across once you've soaked in enough of our analysis on the stream every day, or hung around the Discord in the general lounge. So thank you for joining the crew, or to the community, and we look forward to seeing you around. Lagivine 325. Much love to you. All right, let's get into the next one. How we doing on time? It's 2:38, so we got about 22 minutes left in the show, and I still have a couple requests, I think, lined up. Let me verify. All right, this question came from Merlin Andre in the live chat, and they say, I shorted at 34. What are my next moves? Okay, so they shorted 34 and are probably a little uneasy right now, given the bounce.
Take your loss.
Yeah, take your L right now, bud.
Yeah, I do not know that we will come back down here. 34,000 is not a place to be shorting Bitcoin from.
If you rewind it back into the show, when me and Alex were talking, I was like, I believe 34.4 will be where we hit before we reverse here, and we hit 396. So
he did say that, and this is 34.4, guys. We'll see if we reverse here. Stay tuned. Did Jason see the future? Is he?
I don't know why I wanted Law and Order in there. Dum, dum.
Yes, let's pull up the Law and Order soundboard. What's up? Something going on, Alex?
We need to zoom out. It dropped like
he's
5
in he's in the 5-minute chart.
Gotcha.
Whoa!
Oh, it's dropping. Oh my god.
Watch the second chart again. I mean, we absolutely could break.
4 hour is going to give us a cross under here.
Closing in 20 minutes. Yep, it's going to be an interesting next 20 minutes, I bet.
Well, you know, before you dump that short, let me say this. If we get this 4-hour close down here, then there's a chance you can get out in a profit on that $34,000 short. But you should not be shorting down here after a move like this. If you don't hit it up here, or maybe after the second drop, you missed it. That's my lesson to you. Don't be afraid to let trades go. There will always be another day. Think of how many different markets either pumped or dumped in the last 2 weeks. There was so much money to be made in either direction. There will always be trades. Don't chase them.
And also, like, think to yourself, why did you enter it? Because this is super important. Like, if you're going to continue trading, every single trade that you take, you need to know why you've taken it. So if you actually are just gambling, then you need to accept that and get out of it as soon as you can, most likely, because you are becoming one of those trapped shorters that we're talking about. Like, if this thing does continue to pump to the upside, you're just going to keep going, oh, well, I'll wait, and then you're liquidated.
Yep.
And it happens every time.
To cover your short, you will be fuel for the pump. That is how it works.
Exactly.
Everyone who's not on their emotional game gets wrecked.
Remember, you close a short by buying. So all the shorts have to buy to close up their short. So that's why trap shorts are fuel for pumps.
All right, on the bearish case, I see a Mr. Kobayashi in the live chat spreading the bearish case. He's saying back to the 21 EMA is imminent. $23,000.
Oh, he did come back.
He
Mr.
did
Kobayashi.
come back. Yeah, I think that's him, isn't it?
Yeah, it is him.
Speak of the but he's saying the $23,000 CME gap is going to get filled as soon as possible. So, yeah.
So now.
For those new wondering what that is, the CME is closed on weekends. So the CME gap from a couple weeks ago is down here. We'll mark that out.
So like 24 something ish, 23.
This unfilled gap, and of course there was
likely
also
a little bit at one time.
Forex Meister in the Twitch chat calling it another wild prediction.
That is true. Have we even looked at the Dixie today?
No. Tell you what, let's scoot on over to the Dixie and then look at traditionals real quick, because I never did that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to be wrapping up.
Nice, strong pullback on the Dixie today. This is good for Bitcoin, hopefully being able to recover a little bit if we continue to pull back on the Dixie. This is still potentially relatively normal for a new uptrend. We're basically just kind of still trading sideways. You know, we broke the downtrend, but now we kind of trend has to switch directions. So for right now, I don't consider this to be a danger for the uptrend. We still have a full week of trading here, three days or so. But if this does continue to break down, then that could be good for Bitcoin not topping out at 40K, and then we do continue on to like 50 or 60K next. And the Dixie pumping is bad for alt season, so the Dixie dumping would be good for alt season. So we want this. We want this. Said the market looks like trash. We will not have an initial short signal here because we are not below zero here. But I might put on a short for QQQ anyway. We're below the daily baseline. We broke back out of this ascending wedge pattern here.
I like that. I do.
You like that short?
I do. Like looking at it after the test, then you got bought back up to the. Now you're still not within the old trend, and now you're just coming, and old support's turning into resistance. We've been looking at this one for weeks, man, and I finally feel like that's a comfortable position to take a short on the QQQ for sure.
Yeah,
I like that.
As you can see, essentially we gap down today, and then we just trade down all day long, which is pretty incredible because yesterday it looked like we were going to make a new all-time high on the QQQ, didn't it? Yeah. And then slap in the face, gap down, and then trade down all day long below the daily baseline.
It's like one of the only ones that didn't get a chance to break out of their pattern.
Yeah. SPY trading down today, essentially just trading sideways here, slightly above our resistance and above our daily baseline, but we're curling under here. You would think if we were just gonna make new all-time highs, we would have a little bit more strength than this, right? We make a new all-time high and then just gonna trade sideways. Just gonna sit around here. And the Dow also trading sideways, but looking relatively healthy, I think. Just kind of at resistance. Nothing, we don't want to long it here. Not long in resistance. But it does not look as bad as a QQQ does.
Nothing quite looks as bad as a QQQ, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's always looked like it's been underperforming everything else.
Well, I mean, it has underperformed ever since we hit the highs, because it did overperform everything else.
Yeah, I guess you're right in that aspect.
Yeah, this ran almost exactly the same as Shitcoins did. It was just straight up until September, and then we've just kind of traded sideways since then. I'm telling you guys, Shitcoins and tech stocks,
QQQ.
they were pretty heavily correlated. It was strange.
Let's see if that has any kind of relevance going forward.
We'll see. Maybe this means QQQ is going to take off too. Maybe both QQQ and SHIB take off here. I'm not super fond of this rejection wick. I was hoping we'd find support here, but if we close the day like this, that's bad. Or if we close the day bad.
Indecision, you'd likely get more downside.
Yeah. Let's do some chart requests for the last 15 minutes. Or actually, let's look at precious metals real quick.
Yeah, let's look at PMs.
Yeah.
Gold, I'm not super fond of last week's rejection wick.
Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty bearish sign right there.
Yeah, we're finding some support here, but I'm not convinced. I think we're just kind of like sidling up to resistance here before we dump more.
I agree. That's quite the volatile dump on precious metals.
Yeah, this is a slap in the face right here. This wick right here. This is essentially a full week almost of pumping that was just erased. Palladium apparently finding support here. I don't know. Palladium has just done nothing but trade sideways since September. So until I see some kind of strong trend, I'm not interested. But the weekly looks like it could be finding support here. I will give it that. Platinum recovering. It looks like we're going to continue. And silver also having a rather strong weekly rejection. I think silver's a short here.
I think we talked about that yesterday.
I don't think we covered precious metals yesterday, but we might have talked about it Friday.
Yeah, I swear we just talked about shorting silver. It could have been Friday though. Yeah, I guess it is only Tuesday.
Okay, let's go ahead and do some chart requests. Let's finish up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. All right, chart requests. I was gonna say if we're not looking at chart requests, we should just watch a Bitcoin.
I'm pretty sure I've got all the requests completed, unless something very late came in across the line. In fact, something just did. So let's.
Someone did say Crow earlier that I'm pretty sure we didn't do.
Okay.
And then TRXC.
I can pretty much guess what Crow's doing without even looking at the chart.
Well, then don't look at it. What's it doing, Jack?
Well, I hope you sold this area over here. Yeah.
Someone's eating Crow.
Heavy resistance here, but it looks like we found support here again. I think you could pick up Crow in this spot again, and it would make sense. I would be out if we made a new low. So sure. I would just set a soft stop, and mentally, if we close below 5.5, just
especially thinking back to the way I used to trade, that there's a lot there that would make me want to take a swing. But yeah, as soon as you'd hit a new low, get out of it.
Yeah. I think it's about all we can say for Crow here. Yeah.
All right, we got 10 minutes left in the show, and one of our new members has put in a request. Cody Flurles is asking for TRXC. This is Transcentrix Incorporated, if I'm not mistaken. It's
Why
traded...
would you even put your name close to TRX?
No.
I presume they were first.
I'm just saying, why would you even make it close?
Yeah, that's true.
Feeling a little late to the party here.
Oh no.
We'll have to turn off our baseline.
Hell of a gap. It's a weekly chart.
Yeah. Jesus.
Man, where is that thing?
So
On the
much
bottom
data.
of the ocean? Like, where's this thing been hanging out? 30 leagues under the sea? Oh man, yeah, it's crashed hard, huh?
Are you bottom picking, buddy?
He's gotta be.
Okay. Asshole. It's not very helpful. I mean, it's cool that we break the downtrend here. We trade up. Feels like we're at resistance in this spot. I
don't like how quickly time transformation is resetting itself. Like, it's already almost to the highs, and it's...
I'm just not really sure what to do with this chart. I feel like, if you have a good entry, I would hold on to it. We're likely going to continue to appreciate over time. But I don't really like buying at these highs either. Especially because we're up, 200% this month? Yeah.
Could be a runner, though.
No. I'm saying, it could make new highs here. But...
Yeah, I wasn't disagreeing with you. Getting in right here is not a wise decision. But if you're in it already, it could be a great runner. If anything, you'd have to wait for a pullback.
Mm-hmm. I would just try and buy near the 20-week moving average, okay, bud? That's my best advice for you. Is if you're, I assume you're asking me because you're already in this. I mean, there's thousands of stocks in the stock market, so this can't be the only thing pumping out there right now. So you're probably in this already. If you are, just hold on to it. And then if you're not, I would look for the weekly moving average as a place to enter with pretty low risk. Okay.
Look at that candle.
All right, hopefully that covers it. Thank you, Cody Flurles. It's nice to have you aboard. Be sure to subscribe and follow along. Okay, what do we got next? We're running low on time, and I've got a few left over here that came in right at the end, Alex. So I'm going to name them all, and you tell me which ones you want to look at, if any, of course. All right, so we have one asking for the ETH perp on FTX. I have one for Celsius, I have one for Zen BTC, and finally I have one from Agency. He's asking us to look at the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, I believe, and then the M2, which is, of course, I think the monetary supply.
I don't have time to do macroeconomics in the last 5 minutes of the show.
All right, so you got Zen, Celsius, and ETH perp. Take your pick.
All right, we're going to look at Celsius because ETH perp is just ETH USDT, and we looked at that at the start of the show. Celsius Holdings or Celsius Coin? Probably Celsius Coin. Of course.
Probably coin.
Yeah, I think coin. Yeah.
No, this is seller. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make a buyer coin.
I am so not interested in buying Celsius in this spot. I cannot express to you how much I don't want to buy Celsius in this spot.
Yeah, that looks quite bearish.
Yeah.
A lot of bearish divergence.
Yep, we're below the daily baseline. I would even say you could short Celsius here. We've got an initial short signal right here. We're still under the qualifying line. We've got enough momentum, volatility. We're below zero.
Right,
short it, man.
Yeah, that's
my advice on Celsius. Short it.
Or sell it if you're spot.
Get out now.
Get to the dollar.
Yeah, get to the dollar.
Get to the dollar. Get to the chopper.
All right. If you feel like squeezing one more in, B-Flow says Zen BTC. Someone forgot to tell them there was a sell-off. Zen.
I think it reminds me of there wasn't a sell-off on Zen.
That's what he said. He said someone forgot to tell Zen there was a sell-off.
Oh, I thought he was saying someone forgot to tell me Zen had a sell-off. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, looking pretty good. It's starting to break that trend out sideways, though, so you might want to start watching her. But still there, man.
It's incredibly strong on the weekly. I think this is just something that you should just hold on to now. I wouldn't try swing trading this. I presume you're asking me because you're in it. I just keep holding it, man. This is a very strong weekly buy signal. Nice bullish divergence. You can see here. It's essentially equal lows. Got a weekly buy signal here. Strong here. Daily is, I mean, you know how strong it's been last 3 days. So, yeah, there's nothing to do but to hold on for dear life and hope Zen just keeps pumping.
How's that 4-hour TT cross looking on BTC?
Ooh.
Right before the close of the show. I don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to lobster claw a little bit here and keep going. We got 3 minutes.
Well, we have bounced off the 15-minute baseline. Kind of strong looking.
So whoever that was out there in their 34,000 short, the close of the 4-hour like this probably would lead me to believe you're going to have some more upside before downside. So that's up to you on how far you want to ride that.
You basically could have gotten out right around break even. We were almost there.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of a dip.
Yeah. Well, I guess time will tell what the best option is here. I would just say I would not be caught short on Bitcoin right now. I don't know that we won't dip more, but I wouldn't want to be short when we don't dip.
Yep. You can. There's always time later. I mean, once you see, like, these things don't just go up and down. Of course, there are outliers that just go straight down, like, heavily. But usually, if you do this for a while, you realize that we're going to start swinging. Like, it's going to either go sideways a little bit, or there's always more time, man. So don't always feel like you need to be in a position. Wait for the right evidence to show itself to you to make that decision. But we're above the baseline. I mean, you shouldn't be looking for shorts on Bitcoin anyways.
Indeed, but I'm sure a lot of people made gains, and the first major pullback, they're thinking,
Yep.
"Oh my God, I'm gonna lose all my gains. I'd rather just sell now and get out." And so I can understand why a lot of people are going to be shorting right now, and it makes even more sense why people are going to be piling into shorts at a potential bottom. Right? You didn't short 40, you thought we'd bounce at 35, and then we start flirting with 30K, people probably piled into shorts around 32, 34, and that's just asking for the market to push you out of it. So we could very well edge up from here. All right, quick comment I'm going to highlight from Forexmeister on the Twitch. He says, buy wall on Tensors setting up at 34K. So I guess according to the 10-short charts, big buy wall showing up at 34K. So buy.
That's weird.
William Pitts says CFX is 19 cents with a $10 million supply cap with real-world use and mineable hidden gem. Load up now while it's low. Most coins with a supply limit that low are $2 to $5. All right, so William Pitts came through the live chat and chilled his CFX bags. Yes, thank you very much.
Not as interesting as any of the other shitcoins. Yep, guys, there's a supply and it's limited, so you should buy it for reasons.
Hurry up and buy.
For reasons.
Alright, well, even the shillers of coins are welcome here at the CC live chat.
Yeah, you're welcome here, but I don't have to take the shilling that seriously.
Indeed, indeed. Alright, we've gone 2 hours. We wrapped up all the requests. If you're just joining us now or you joined the show late, catch the replay. We're going to post timestamps shortly after the show wraps up. So if you just refresh this video in the next 10-20 minutes, you're going to see timestamps there. You'll quickly be able to find all your favorite coins that we talked about. It's been a solid 2-hour stream. Believe me, we talked a lot of different markets today. So definitely worth a rewatch, especially once those timestamps are available. Shoutouts to everybody who joined us today. Shoutouts to Christian Zeladon, who says, nice guys, thank you. You guys are awesome and funny. Thank you to Christian Zeladon. Always a pleasure. Always fun to join in. David Rice just showed up. Haven't seen David pipe up in the chat in a while, but shoutouts to David Rice. It's nice to see you here. I also saw Dark Rico in here earlier. I didn't shout him out yet, so he's also a regular. Shoutouts to Dark Rico. And all right, shout it out, most people. You know who you all are. Over 100 viewers right now. Much love to everyone who joined us for today's episode. Thank you.
Come back tomorrow, boys, because we're gonna do it all over again.
100 viewers and only 57 likes. Something doesn't add up.
I'm hungry.
You know what to do, guys.
I've got a fever, and the only cure is more like buttons, guys.
Indeed, hit the he's you know, he needs those likes, guys.
I'm an only child. I need the attention.
Can't let those oxygen levels bottom out in sector 7G, so make sure you hit the likes and keep the carbon scrubbers running. They're directly correlated to our operations over here, guys. All right, everyone's saying thank you. I've shouted everyone out. It's been a great show. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us once again. Much love to all. Signing out here. Final words to our analysts.
The same thing as always, guys. Trade safely.
Yeah, trade safely. Don't be short right now.
And be watching DeFi right now.
We might be short later in the week, but not right now.
Yeah. Things can change so wildly in a day, and I mean, the guys that are watching the show probably understand that more than most at this point. Every day's a new day, so make sure that you're always protecting your capital.
All right, much love. And they're all Funkin' Floyd on Twitch. I forgot to shout you out too, but I did now. So there you go, Mr. Funk. We're out. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. See you on Wednesday.
See you guys tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Outro.